first thing I remember is the smell. A pungent mix of damp cardboard, stale bread, and the metallic tang of garbage. I opened my eyes, blinking against the harsh light filtering through a crack in the box. My siblings, 3 tiny balls of fur, huddled beside me, mewling softly. We were kittens, born in the heart of an alley, our world confined to the cardboard haven that sheltered us from the bustling city above. Life as a kitten was a bliss that I had yet to understand. In my early days, my mother would comfort us with soothing licks and milk from her body. Days gone by, we could waddle our feet, wandering around our surroundings, exploring the box we call home. Hunger gnawed at my belly for the first time, a primal instinct I didn't yet understand. My mother, a sleek gray cat with wise eyes, nudged me towards a scrap of fish she'd scavenged from a nearby dumpster. It was tough and smelled strange, but I devoured it eagerly, the taste igniting a spark of warmth within me. Life on the streets was a constant scramble for survival. We learned to navigate the labyrinth of alleyways, dodging rumbling trucks and wary humans. We hunted for scraps, relying on our mother's keen instincts to lead us to the best foraging spots. The nights were coldest, the damp seeping into our bones, but huddled together, we found solace in each other's warmth. One day, a ginger tomcat named Rusty, scarred and battle-hardened, appeared in our alley. He wasn't our father, but he took us under his wing, teaching us the art of hunting, the dangers to avoid, and the hidden kindness of some humans. He showed us the abandoned warehouse, a haven for his small colony of strays, and introduced us to the warmth of shared meals and purrs. As I grew older, my curiosity led me beyond the familiar alley. I explored the bustling streets, marveling at the towering buildings and the strange creatures that walked on 2 legs. Some humans shooed me away, their faces contorted in disgust. But others, like the kind old lady who offered me a saucer of milk, showed me unexpected kindness. One day, a girl with bright eyes and messy hair caught my attention. She would sit on her windowsill, reading aloud, her voice a melody that drew me closer. Gradually, our distance lessened. I would sit at the base of the fire escape, gazing up at her, and she would whisper stories, her voice filled with warmth. Her name was Lily, and she became my bridge to the human world. Our bond blossomed. She left bowls of food and water on the fire escape, and I would return, rubbing against her legs, my tail held high. She was my confidant, sharing my joys and fears, a beacon of light in my uncertain world. But life on the streets wasn't all sunshine and purrs. One harsh winter, a sickness swept through our colony. My siblings succumbed, their tiny bodies too weak to fight. I, too, felt the icy grip of the illness, my strength waning. Lily watched me from her window, her face etched with worry. One particularly cold night, I crawled onto the fire escape, seeking warmth. Lily found me, shivering and weak. Without hesitation, she scooped me up, her warmth enveloping me. The next thing I knew, I was in a bright room, surrounded by the scent of disinfectant and the gentle hum of machines. I was scared and disoriented at first, but the kindness in Lily's eyes calmed my anxieties. The humans at the strange place called Shelter treated me with gentle hands, healing my body and easing my fear. They said I was lucky, that Lily had saved my life. The shelter was a whirlwind of activity. Cats of all shapes and sizes came and went, some finding forever homes, others returning to the streets. I watched them, unsure of my own fate. Lily visited me often, her touch a familiar comfort. One day, she brought a young boy with her, his eyes wide with wonder. He hesitantly offered me a toy, and I swatted it playfully, a spark of joy igniting within me. That night, Lily whispered in my ear, "I think you found your forever home." And so I did. The boy, whose name was Sam, welcomed me with open arms and an endless supply of catnip toys. Lily and her family became my own, showering me with love and affection. I learned the joy of soft beds, warm laps, and endless chin scratches. Life as a house cat was a stark contrast to my days on the streets, but it was a welcome change. I still missed Rusty and the other strays, but I knew I was safe, loved, and cherished. My adventures continued, albeit in a more controlled environment. I explored the house, chased butterflies in the garden, and snuggled up to Sam on rainy nights. Years pirouetted past, leaving their mark on my once sleek fur, now dusted with silver around my muzzle. My emerald eyes held a gentle wisdom, a testament to my journey from alleyway urchin to cherished house cat. But don't be fooled by the graying fur. My spirit remained as playful as a kitten's, my purrs rumbling with the same deep contentment as those first shared with my siblings under the cardboard haven. Within the warm embrace of Lily's family, I blossomed. I became their furry jester, a master of the surprise headbutt and the perfectly timed purr to calm a furrowed brow. Sam, once a curious boy, had grown into a young man, but his love for me never wavered. We were partners in naps, sunbeams, and the endless pursuit of feathery toys. His laughter, echoing through the house, was music to my ears, and a single stroke behind my ears held the power to melt away any stress. Lily, my guardian angel, remained a constant source of love and affection. Her gentle touch soothed away any aches, and her voice, a soothing melody, calmed me during the occasional thunderstorm. We had an unspoken language, a knowing glance that conveyed volumes without a word. In her eyes, I saw not just a human who fed me, but a kindred spirit who understood the quiet rumble of a contented purr and the unspoken language of feline affection. Life wasn't without its challenges. My once sharp reflexes dulled, and climbing became a more deliberate affair. But even the simplest things brought joy. The warmth of the sunbeam on my back, the satisfying crunch of a kibble, the soft brush of Lily's fingers through my fur. Each day was a gift, savored and cherished. I became a pillar of the family, a furry therapist, offering purrs and head bops in times of stress, a silent observer of life's joys and sorrows. The children who once marveled at my playful antics now confided in me, whispering secrets into my soft fur, finding solace in my unwavering presence. I was their furry confidant, their furry comfort blanket, a purring reminder that even the smallest creatures could offer love and support. As the years stretched on, my steps slowed and my naps grew longer. But my spirit never dimmed. The glint in my eyes, though softer now, still held the mischief of a kitten, and my purrs, though slower, resonated with the same love and contentment. I was a living testament to the resilience of the feline spirit, a reminder that love and kindness could blossom even in the unlikeliest of places. And so, my story unfolds, not as a tragedy of euthanasia, but as a testament to the enduring power of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a cat and its human family. For even as my time on this earth draws to a close, the memories I leave behind, purred whispers of love and laughter, will continue to warm the hearts of those who cherished me. For that, I am eternally grateful. Sometimes I would look at the windowsill and imagine what would have happened to me had I not found Lily on that day. I imagine it as being the first day that I came into this world. What would happen then? What would the other me be like? Imagination flooded my mind as I narrated to myself what would happen if I stayed as a stray. So I started the story from when I was born and imagined the rest of the outcome had I not met her. The story would start as the world exploded into a cacophony of honking horns, screeching tires, and the metallic clang of garbage cans. I, a tiny ball of fur, barely larger than a tennis ball, stumbled out of the damp cardboard haven that had been my world, my siblings trailing close behind. Hunger gnawed at my belly, a primal instinct I didn't yet understand. The harsh reality of life on the streets hit me like a cold slap. We learned to scavenge for scraps, relying on our mother's keen instincts to lead us to the best foraging spots. The nights were coldest, the dampness seeping into our bones, but huddled together, we found solace in each other's warmth. But fate seemed to have a cruel hand in our game. One by one, my siblings succumbed to illness or the dangers lurking in the shadows. My heart ached with a hollowness I didn't understand, the world growing colder and lonelier with each loss. Fear became my constant companion. The kindness of Rusty, the scarred tomcat who took us under his wing, couldn't shield me from the ever-present threat of danger. He taught me to hunt, to navigate the treacherous alleyways. But even his wisdom couldn't protect us from the inevitable. One day, a speeding car snatched him away, leaving me adrift in a sea of fear and loneliness. Winter arrived, a cruel blanket of ice and snow. Hunger gnawed at me constantly, and the warmth of shared fur was a distant memory. I scavenged for scraps, my body weakening with each passing day. The city lights, once dazzling, now blurred through a haze of exhaustion and despair. One particularly harsh night, I huddled beneath a parked car, the cold seeping through my thin fur. My vision swam, and the world seemed to fade away. Then, a blur of motion caught my eye. A large, dark shape loomed over me, its eyes glowing with predatory hunger. A feral cat, bigger and stronger than me, snarled, its claws unsheathed. I knew this was the end. I mustered the last dregs of my strength, hissing and arching my back. But it was a futile effort. The larger cat lunged, and the world dissolved into a whirlwind of pain and fear. When I awoke, I was alone, the taste of blood metallic in my mouth, my body broken and aching. Days bled into weeks, each one a struggle for survival. I scavenged for scraps and hunted with dulled senses, the pain a constant reminder of my encounter. The city, once my playground, became a hostile maze, filled with dangers and indifference. One morning, I woke up unable to move. My body, racked with fever, refused to obey. Hunger gnawed at me, but the strength to hunt was gone. I lay there, a shivering heap of fur, waiting for the inevitable. Then, a shadow fell across me. A young boy, his face etched with curiosity, peered down at me. He didn't shout me away, didn't throw stones. He simply watched, a silent observer in my suffering. In his eyes, I saw a flicker of something I hadn't seen in a long time. Compassion. But it was too little, too late. My body, ravaged by illness and hardship, had finally given up. The city lights, once harsh and unwelcoming, blurred into a kaleidoscope of colors before fading away completely. My story doesn't end with a warm lap and a loving family. It ends under a cold sky, alone and forgotten. But even in this tragic ending, there's a glimmer of hope. The boy's compassionate gaze, a fleeting moment of kindness amidst the harsh realities of the streets, reminds us that even in the darkest corners, a spark of humanity can shine through. Perhaps my story will serve as a reminder, a plea for empathy for the countless strays who navigate the unforgiving world alone. Maybe, just maybe, it will inspire someone to extend a hand, offer a scrap of food, or open a door to a safer haven. For in that act of kindness, they might not just save a life, but rekindle the spark of hope that even the loneliest stray carries within their heart.